My name's Jennifer Russo. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm 57 years old, and I my personal best is 74 yards at Capitol Backyard. Back during COVID in 2020, there wasn't much going on, and I had seen them before. I remember watching the Bigs race and thinking that just looks awful, right? But then in 2020, there's one in Ohio, and nothing else was happening, so I thought I'd give it a try, and I thought I'd hate it because it just sounded awful. But I thought, why not? There's nothing else going on, so I kind of discovered the backyards by accident, and I was the assist. But it's a long story. I stopped because I had to go back. I didn't expect it to go that long, and I had to get home and get the kids off to school, and I wasn't prepared, and it plus I was dying. But the next day, I thought I felt great. That's the thing with backyards; you kind of get sucked in. I think one of the really cool things is that, there's all levels of runners out there, right? I'm not a fast runner, but yet you don't have to be fast to do okay in a backyard. And so that's one of the cool things. And I think also the camaraderie, like, when you go to a mountain race or whatever, all the really fast elite runners just, take off, right? They're gone and you never see them again. And the neat thing with the backyard is that, runners of all different levels can kind of hang out together and chat and, that kind of thing. 2 years ago, I ran a lap with Courtney DeWalter, which, never in my wildest dreams could I ever keep up with her on any sort of race. But, in a backyard, we're all just doing kind of the same, slow run. So that was really cool. But I think honestly, the sleep deprivation is what, I think I think a couple of the last ones I've done, that's what, ultimately just kind of tears you down. There's other things like nutrition's really tough, but I think ultimately like the sleep, it's hard to keep your focus, after several days. So I think the sleep thing is pretty hard. I was lucky enough to go a couple years ago, and it really wasn't when I did my first backyard, that really wasn't even on my radar. I just was kind of trying to do it and see, what it was all about. But then after doing one, um, it just, I thought that would be something really cool to be a part of. So I guess really probably back in 21, maybe. I thought that would be really cool. And so I was lucky enough to do it in 22. I was able to qualify. So I ran in 22 and then 23 with Team USA and then this year. It's very cool. In fact, I loved last year's, like the whole Team USA was such a neat format. Just, only 15 of us and just the camaraderie. And it was really special. I'll never compete in the Olympics or anything, like crazy like that. So, and I know it's such a small kind of niche format, but I thought it was really cool to have the whole team concept and be part of Team USA. So that was really neat. Yeah. In the beginning, like the first one I did a lot of, yards, which takes forever, right? If you try and go out and do a yard and then take a break and then go again. So that's not a very realistic way to train. So in the beginning, I did do some of that. I think anymore, it's doing things that are difficult. Like I did a couple of runs lately where I'd get up at midnight, and there's a place that I like to run that's 2 hours away, so I got up at midnight and started running at 2 a.m. and, just did, so some of those middle of the night runs. I think those are really helpful, just teaching you to run on no sleep and, jump out of a nice cozy bed in the middle of the night, right? Kind of mimicking when you take your little nap at Biggs and having to jump up and get back out there. So I think that's helpful. The trying to practice little 5-minute naps. Everybody's got their own strategy, but I think the more prepared you are, the better. But and there's so many different levels of strategy. You can have just a broad, I'm going to take the lap slow and easy, but um, I think it's helpful, just to have kind of a plan of what you want to do and when you want to come in. Every runner's different. Some like to run their laps a lot faster and have more time, and others like to just barely get in with any time and just conserve as much energy as possible. So the strategies I think are really different for different people. But I think, yeah, you need some sort of a plan going into it for sure. And nutrition and all those good things. I'm excited about it, but it's also kind of terrifying. It's just that, wow, the list of runners this year is incredible. And like, there's not anybody on there that I couldn't see winning. You know what I mean? So it's really, I'm excited to meet all these people from all over the world. I think that's going to be amazing. And to get the opportunity to run with them, but it's also intimidating as heck. But I'm excited. I'm very excited to be there, and I feel very lucky to be able to, make the team. This format of race does break down so many of those barriers, because men just naturally are faster than women. It's been really cool to see some of the greats like Courtney and Maggie and some of the things that they've done in the past. I'm surprised we don't have more women coming to bigs this year. I think there's only four, which is kind of surprising to me. So one of the things I would love to see is to get more women involved in the sport. So, but yeah, I certainly feel a little bit of pressure to do well. But at the same time, I'd love to see more women involved. We actually, my business partner and I host our own backyard here in Ohio, and one of our goals is to try and just grow the sport and grow also the number of women that'll give it a try. A lot of people say, some of these records are crazy, right? And a lot of people say the bigs course is harder, but I I don't know. I haven't seen any of the other courses, and the bigs course does have a lot of rocks and roots. It's fairly technical, not super hilly, but not that hard. So I don't know. Like, I think well over 100 hours or 100 yards, but how much further? I don't know. 125. There you go. I'll put my prediction out there.